The last part of our Chapter 17 discussion revolves around creating a store atmosphere. And so when we talk about creating a store atmosphere, our goal is to design the environment of our store to stimulate the five senses of the customer. And so we're going to walk through the five senses and talk about how we can create an atmosphere that appeals to them. When we talk about sight, we can adjust the lighting in our store. So good lighting is more than just being able to illuminate a space. Lighting can be used to highlight merchandise. When we highlight merchandise, we are creating a sense of excitement. We might use highlighting lighting to provide an accurate color rendition of merchandise. So this is particularly important when you're talking about home goods. If you are selling artwork, or maybe you're selling paint, or you're selling couches or couch cushions or couch coverings, all of those, customers really want to know what they look like in specific types of light. So what does it look like in natural daylight? What does it look like with fluorescent lighting? What does it look like in interior household lighting? So we can highlight merchandise to show what the true color of that item is. You can also highlight merchandise by spotlighting special feature items. Another way that we use lighting in our stores is to create a specific mood. So you'll oftentimes see fashion boutiques lower the lighting to kind of coordinate with the overall ambiance of the store. So again, if you walk into a Kroger or a Target or a Walmart, you're going to have that really bright fluorescent lighting. But if you walk into a smaller boutique store, you'll notice that the lighting is much calmer, a little dimmer. If you walk into a Hollister store, you'll notice that you can't even see the merchandise. So that might be part of their overall strategy. You can't even see what you're buying. But if you notice, discount stores will use brighter, less expensive fluorescent lightings. Specialty stores like Victoria's Secret or Anthropologie, they're going to use more dim lighting to create a mood. So another way we appeal to sight is by the color that we use. In retailing, well, not just in retailing, but in a retail store, warm colors like red and gold and yellow, they're going to produce very emotional, vibrant, active responses from the customers. And while cool colors like white and blue and green, they have a very peaceful, calming effect on customers. So, when you look at Old Navy, it's a lot brighter. So you're going to have brighter colors. You're going to have bold colors. You really, really want to produce that vibrant, active response on a customer. Or again, if you walk into an Anthropologie, they're going to be much calmer, cooler colors to have that calming, peaceful effect on the customer. So that's how we appeal to sight, with our light and our color schemes. When you talk about appealing to the ears, your sense of hearing, music can both add and detract from a retailer's total atmospheric package. So most shoppers notice the music that's playing, and they'll leave if they don't like it. When I was home, and this has been, I guess, over spring break, so we're going back 2 months here, month and a half. I took my cousins to Aeropostale. Well, we went to the mall, and they wanted to go into Aeropostale. And we walked in there, and I shopped there when I was in, middle school and early in high school. And so I'd been in the store before, but I guess it's been a while. And we walked in, and the music was so loud. I started to dawn on me how old I was, because the music, I just wanted to leave the store. Which maybe, hey, that's a reason why Aeropostale is going through what they're going through right now. But music can really detract from the atmospheric package. It can also impact and have a greater impact. If you've ever been into a Von Maur, they actually have a person who sits in the first floor and plays the piano. And so that music impacts the shopping experience. The good news about music, if you do find that it's detracting from your overall atmosphere, music can be changed. Musics have a soundtrack, right? It's a disc, or a lot of retailers are using Pandora or other streaming companies to play music in the store, so it's easy to change. You can play different types of music at different times of day. Maybe the music you play early in the morning is different than the music you play later in the evening. You can change the music for different holidays. I worked in a JCPenney for a while, and I can distinctly remember the Christmas holiday. Our soundtrack had 22 songs on it. And so those 22 songs just looped and looped and looped. But the good news is the customers weren't ever there long enough to get through the whole loop, right? But as employees, you're there for the whole loop. But music can greatly impact your store atmosphere and what customers think, how long they stay in the store, and what they purchase. So scent marketing. Scent marketing is actually very cool, and I have a little video for you that's posted in the module that you can watch if you want, with a little bit about how chemists design scents for specific retailers. It's a really intriguing video. But smell has an impact on the shopper's mood and emotions. Studies show that customers spend more time in unscented stores than scented stores, but retailers are starting to get a little bit more creative with the types of scents that they use to help impact how long customers stay in the store and to get them to stay in the store longer because they like the smell. So some retailers are very lucky in that they have their own natural smell, right? If you think about, Cinnabon and the smell of those Cinnabon, they can attract customers from across the shopping mall. Auntie Anne's pretzel has a very nice salty smell to it when you walk past. So food retailers are very lucky because they create their own scent. If you think about candle stores, right? They sometimes are unlucky in the fact that they create their own scent because maybe the smells start to conflict. So retailers have to figure out how to make sure that the smells aren't conflicting in that store. Think about Abercrombie. When you walk into an Abercrombie, it has a scent. Now, what would happen if you put a Cinnabon and an Abercrombie right next to each other, and those two scents started to blend? That could be a downside to having scents in your stores, but it's not necessarily detrimental. In fact, a lot of times retailers who do pipe scent into their store, and we'll talk about a few examples of these here in a minute, but like an Abercrombie will put in their lease negotiations, we must be at least X number of feet away from a Cinnabon or an Auntie Anne's or whatever that other store might be because they don't want the scents to conflict. A lot of times if you're a department store even, retailers will pipe in different smells into different departments. And when I say pipe it in, it comes through the vent system. And so you'll have, baby powder piped into the baby section, or you'll have suntan lotion smells or coconut smells piped into your summer promotional area or your swimsuit area. All stores generally pipe in cinnamon during the holidays. Cinnamon encourages, it makes customers think and feel like the holidays, and it encourages bulk purchases. Kind of a fun fact, Katy Perry actually piped cotton candy scents into all the stadiums during her California Dreams tour a while back. So scent can really have an impact on how customers think, feel, and purchase. So what are we missing? Taste. Taste, the most difficult sense to appeal to, since customers don't normally lick the walls when they walk into the retail store. But a lot of times retailers, in order to get that sense of taste covered, they will actually open a store restaurant, or maybe they'll open a coffee bar. A lot of higher end department stores now are offering a coffee bar, or they're selling Godiva chocolates at the counter. A lot of times you'll see big retailers. A lot of you've mentioned, Target, when we talked about the stores within a store. Some of them have Pizza Huts opening up inside of them to appeal to the sense of taste, or they'll have snack bars with popcorn and soda, and that's to appeal to the customer's sense of taste, and it's to overall enhance the store atmosphere for the retailer. And so a question is, how exciting should the store be? Right? How many of these different atmospheric elements do you pull into your overall store design? Well, it really depends on the type of store that you are and what your customer shopping goals are. So if you think back to those utilitarian benefits and those hedonic benefits, how much do you appeal to the atmospherics if you are just trying to provide utilitarian benefits, right? It's probably not going to be as many or as in-depth. Atmospherics can also change with the season. or with special promotions. So there's a lot that kind of goes into that atmospheric creation. So something for you to think about. Think of your favorite retailer and how do they appeal to the five senses? How do they create an atmospheric program in that establishment? Or can you find any examples of retailers who really go above and beyond in any of these atmospheric categories?